listening to Life Under the Laundry Pile. This is Copper.
This is Heather. We're back.
We're back, yeah. Let's get the formalities out of the way first. You want to go over social media?
Yes.
Okay.
You can find us on Instagram.
Yep.
Facebook.
Correct.
Twitter.
C.
Pinterest. We have a Pinterest board.
That's all I know.
And we have a website.
Yes.
Where we do put up the show notes every week.
Mm-hmm.
And we call them something like the laundry list. So if you guys want to find us there. And
something like the laundry. Like, I don't know what it's called. I only do it every week. I mean, me being you do the laundry list.
Well, that's okay. We're getting mommy burnout, I think. So, and don't forget.
Well, we are not starting this show with an insect flying around. You need to die.
It's from those stupid ass bananas you try to feed me.
My bananas give me potassium.
I hate bananas.
If I have potassium, I don't get Charlie horse.
I don't like them. Hey, don't forget.
Well,
don't forget.
Gross. They suck nuts.
And don't forget, Copper is Never Drink from Mommy's Cup. That's her personal blog, and mine is One Fed Up Mommy.
And you can find those at all the same places.
Yes, we have all those social media outlets.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Twit, we have that.
I
still hate it. I freaking hate Twitter.
For someone that hates Twitter so much, you really get excited when something good happens.
Oh my God! Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
well, we do. We had two good things happen this week. I don't know if you guys know who Adam Carolla is.
Can we I literally had two good things happen this
week.
week. Other than that's a shit fest.
Or what?
Yeah, no, I really like him. He used to do the Man Show. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Well, if you don't know, check him out, Adam Carolla. He's a famous comedian. I think he might have been on SNL at one time. No, yes, I don't even know.
That's a good question.
But he's huge, and
he does his own podcast. So
yes, he does. And so I'm guessing that's how he found our IG. But he liked one of our Instagram pictures, which was crazy. So of course I had to repost that on our Instagram. But anyway, that was awesome.
Hey, you had a big one.
Oh my God!
You had a big one.
Tony Little. Do you remember who Tony Little was from the '90s, guys? I think it was the '90s. He was this fitness guru. He wore like a baseball cap.
Glorious
he had a ponytail.
Hair. Glorious hair. Yes.
He followed me on Twitter, which I thought was nuts.
What was it called?
He didn't
was
box.
it Gazelle?
No,
it's not. I'm not boxing.
Yes, he did. It was some kind of crazy
this is not
fitness.
boxing.
It looks like
this
boxing.
would be boxing, not this.
That's like girl boxing.
This is elliptical.
Yeah, well,
we
really need to video girl boxing. Ooh, you like that?
I do. I like boxing.
You're freaking me out over here. I think I'm gonna move over to
I
this
do
corner.
like boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't box. I hit like a
bitch.
No, I think bitches hit pretty hard.
I don't hit.
Have you ever seen women fight?
Yes. It's gross because I don't want blood and bruises.
I love it. It got really dark.
It did get dark. All right, so we had two pretty close encounters with famousness. We had Adam Carolla, who liked one of our IG pictures, and Tony Little liked or followed me on Twitter. So
we're so funny because this is not the first time we've come across fairly well-known people acknowledging our work.
But it just happened twice.
Whether it be the podcast or one of our blogs.
Right.
This is not. But every time it happens, I'm like, I feel
fangirl. Oh yeah.
Because we are not known people. I mean, we're just two moms in Texas
sitting in a room.
Right. Literally.
Recording.
Literally my office, which is being infested by bugs apparently.
It's some damn bananas.
You have to leave there's nothing wrong with my bananas. They're healthy and good for you. And filling.
No. We also had something really awesome that happened. We went live on, or we are going live.
We are going live. I have not checked it today. It does. Once you get approved, it does take us several days for them to bring it up. But
tell them what?
It's iHeartRadio.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yes,
it's a big deal. It's pretty exciting.
The crazy thing about that is it's just the whole process that, honestly, a year ago, and it's not just getting to that point where you get onto these shows. It's a lot of work to get on them. It doesn't mean that you're famous or anything, but it's a lot of work to get on them. And before you do this, you would never think that you would be that person on there. But it's kind of cool that if you go to iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play or now iHeartRadio, which is huge, you can pull us up.
It's nothing to sneeze at. I think it's pretty awesome.
I think it is too.
I think it's pretty impressive. I mean, how many of our friends can say they have a podcast and they're on iHeartRadio?
Well, most of them are pretty cool in their own right.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. But
this is just our.
yes.
This is just our little niche is being assholes in front of a microphone.
That's right. But we're funny assholes. I don't think. Yeah.
I still think we need to start recording before we record.
Yeah, I know. We say a lot of funny stuff before we even start recording. Like, I think I've been here for an hour before we even recorded.
Yes.
I was supposed to be here at 9:45,
Yeah.
and it's probably like 11 o'clock by
And
now
the
or
funny
something.
thing is like before you got here, I'm like, okay, we're gonna record, and she's got to get the hell out. I got things to do.
Yes, I agree. Me too. Today's my off day. And like 2 hours later.
We should go shopping.
Oh my God, no.
Do you want to go shopping? We'll go thrift
Thrift
store.
store. Oh, God, today's my day off.
You want to go pop some tags? Isn't that what the kids say these days?
I guess so. It's kind of like my T-shirt where I said,
It is getting darker in here. Oh my God, are we dying?
"Did you saw my Facebook post?" Because I was like, "Is that term relevant anymore?"
Yeah, toking.
My mom buys me T-shirts and she sends them to me all the time. So she sent me a box of T-shirts recently, and one of them was a $1 T-shirt from Walmart. But I wore it to school the other day, and as I'm sitting at the four-way stop, I looked down and realized the shirt I have on
It's Cheech and Chong.
is Cheech and Chong, and it says "Up in Smoke." And I was like, "Oh shit! What happens if I have to get out of the school? You know, they're gonna look at me like, oh yeah, we knew, we figured that." And I was like, "How quick can I turn this shirt inside out and put it back on?" Thank God I put on a sports bra every morning when I leave. But I put on the thing. I said, "Don't worry, I don't toke," or "I'm not a toker." And I was like, "Is that even a relevant term? Like, do people still say that?" I have no idea.
I don't know if they do.
I don't either. You don't know they do? I don't know.
Either.
I don't know if they do.
I'm 40.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm older, but I still don't know.
You're not that much older.
We're just going to pretend that they still say it.
Just like we pretend that we're cool.
Yeah, I know I'm cool. I know we're both cool.
Mm.
Stop that. We are.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
the coolest people I know.
Did I tell you about the new neighbor that I talked to at the bus stop this morning? I am standing at the corner
I
for
saw
45
your Facebook. I was like, why is she still outside?
That woman literally knows everything right now. If she
Too
ever
much.
makes eye contact with me again, I'll be really
Too
shocked.
much.
I don't know why it all came out, but she knows about my episiotomies. She knows everything.
Holy moly. So does she live near you or she lives on my side?
She lives on your side. She lives in that house. You know that house.
Oh, yeah.
The one that made me so angry.
Yes.
Not her in particular, but the house.
Yeah.
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 They're nice people. Her kid is cute.
Okay.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Little TMI there.
I have that inability
Like, did
to
she
stop.
ask you? Like, how do you
No,
even get
I'm just like, my name is Copper. I had like a level
verbal diarrhea?
Yeah. And I told her when she's like, I said, actually, we need to go. And she goes, oh, me too. And I said, just so you know, I suffer from verbal diarrhea syndrome. So please don't hold this against me or my children.
And you had been standing there for a very long
45
time.
minutes.
Because
45 minutes.
I dropped the kids off at 7:45, I think. And when I came by, you were still there. And I know for a fact the bus comes
at 7:15 on the dot.
Yeah.
Miss Sandy is on the dot. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been standing there for a while. But hey, you had something crazy happen with you. You had some.
Oh, last Friday.
Yeah.
I think I might be allergic to something in chicken wings, which is very sad if you know me, because I really, really,
Like wings.
really like chicken wings. So no, we just we had a date night. Are you turning the light on? Because it's really getting scary dark in here.
Yeah. Well, it is Halloween soon, so we're good.
Armageddon.
Yeah. You know, keep that damn banana fly away from me.
So last Friday night we actually had a date night. The kids went to a parents' night out at the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to a restaurant here in town, and I had my usual wings and a beer. And I got a different sauce on the wings. The waitress suggested it. So I'm like, yeah, why not? And I ate them and got up to go to the bathroom to wash my hands. And I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, and I happen to look up the same time as someone's coming out of the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my God. And she looked over at me, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, does it look that bad? She goes, yes. And I was covered. My face, my neck, my chest, my arms, because I was wearing a sleeveless shirt, was covered in this rash. And she's like, are you allergic to something you ate? And I'm like, well, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, obviously, maybe. I mean, I've never had a reaction or anything, but I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, oh, maybe it was the beer. I'm like, oh, God, no, I hope not. That'd be awful. So I go back to the table, and it's darker in the restaurant, so you can't see very well. But Matt looked up, and, like, you could see him double take. I'm like, you can see it, can't you? He's like, yes. He's like, does it itch? I'm like, it's kind of starting to itch, but I think it's because I know it's there.
Right.
So I don't think it really, I don't really feel like it itches.
That, yes, now it does.
And he's like, so are you breathing okay? And because I'm asthmatic, just so you know, I'm, dysfunctional. But I'm like, no, I think I'm fine. So we're sitting there, and the waitress came over. I'm like, just out of curiosity, what's in that sauce? And she's looking at me. I'm like, I'm having a reaction. What's in the sauce? And she's like, well, it's red pepper flakes and teriyaki and soy sauce. And I'm like, no, these are all things I've eaten before. There has to be something. And she's like, oh, and she joking. And I'm like, okay. And I finish up my beer, and she's like, she jokingly said, do you want another beer? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And Matt's like, I think we should go to the hospital. I'm like, no. So she brings the beer, and in the process, I do start, like, getting a little tight in the chest. Like, I'm having a hard time breathing. He's like, should we go? I'm like, no, I need to finish my beer. So I finished my beer, and it was fine. We stopped at Walgreens and got some Benadryl.
Yeah, as you're, like, crawling down the aisle because you now are, like, full on.
The Benadryl took care of it, so whatever it was, I don't know.
Here's the kicker. Did you not tell me that
I went back 2 days later and had the same thing? Yes. I got a different sauce on my chicken wings. Okay. It was kids eat free night.
You're a glutton for punishment. Yes. Damn.
I love chicken wings.
I hate meat. Meat's gross.
What were we talking about?
What, this week?
No. When you said meat is gross.
With chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings. I know you don't like chicken.
No, that is probably the most disgusting thing on the planet. I love
chicken wings.
Oh, sorry. Chicken is not my thing.
I should tell you, and this is going to come off of that I drink too much, which may or may not be true, but a couple years ago for a Super Bowl, we went to my friend Nina's house, and she and I sat outside while the guys watched the game, and I maybe took things a little too far. You know. So a couple days later, I'm like, I have your platter, by the way. I think Matt accidentally grabbed it because he was, he had it.
Oh, I think you told me this story before.
So I'm like, I have your platter, by the way. I think he accidentally grabbed it. And she's like, no, you carried it out. And I'm like, I did. And she's like, it still had some chicken wings on it. And you grabbed it. And you had tears running down your face. And you're shoving one in your mouth. And you're like, I just love chicken wings so much. And I don't remember that. But I do love chicken wings that much.
I think that was one of the first stories you told me when I met you.
Verbal diarrhea. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
And don't ask me. I was trying to think the other day, how in the world did we meet? Like, it's so odd.
I don't know.
I think I just repeatedly kept saying...
Harassing me?
At the bus stop. I would drive by while you were still standing there, and I would tell you, the bus is coming, or the bus has left the school.
Well,
Is that it?
Was it even before school? I think because I quickly got on our neighborhood page, and
we had been talking back and forth.
You were like on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not sure we really knew what we kind of knew what
You're right. And I rolled the window down one day and I introduced myself. Which is really funny.
It led to you quite more often than not harassing me at the bus stop while I waited for my children.
Yes. Well, I left you alone this morning. I figured you could harass her this time.
You're like, she's clearly not making a new friend, so I'm just gonna let her. I'm gonna let her dig that grave.
Oh my God! I so thought about you. Yesterday we went to Pump It Up. I took the kids. We had half day or whatever. Right. And I took the kids to Pump It Up, and Landon brings back this little friend, and he's like, my mom wants to meet you so we can have play dates. And I was thinking, Copper's screaming in my head, no new friends, no new friends. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll just give you my number and you can give it to her as I'm edging towards the door. Well, he didn't take the hint. He's like, no, let me go get her. I'll go get her. I was like, no, honey, it's okay. He's like, no, I'm going to get her. And he took off running. I was like, you little ass. I was like, I could have given you my number.
Right.
So then I stood there and I waited, and poor thing, super nice grandma. But I'm thinking the whole time, I don't need any new friends. I don't want any more friends to call me and say, hey, let's go play dates and all that. But I could hear you in my head.
I just don't like learning new names.
I just am overwhelmed these days, and it's like, oh my God, just one more thing to put on my plate.
Right.
One more play date for someone to want, and one more kid for my kid to say, can I play with this kid today? Can I play with him tomorrow? It gets to be a little too much, I'm going to kill this banana bug, whatever the hell it is.
It's pretty big. I don't think...
It is. It's because it came off your...
I think. Oh,
bananas.
do you think it's a friend of the cockroach in the garage?
I don't know, but thank God Maggie.
She saved the day last night, and she doesn't even know. I was not going back in that garage. It was terrifying. I'm not kidding. It was huge. I mean, it was Texas big, and I'm like, oh, we're done.
It probably had wings and would have flown at you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Look, he's right there.
Kill it.
How am I supposed to kill it without knocking things down?
Yeah. All right, we'll just deal with it.
We're just going to call this episode The Saga of the Bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn banana bugs. And that's technically not what it is. It's a fruit fly. Let's just be honest.
We have literally been talking for half of the show.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Sorry about that. And we did have a super cute. We have a super cute little thing. We were gonna talk about.
Life tips according to an 8-year-old.
Yeah, life tips from an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
which is so funny.
Not that we asked our 8-year-olds.
This is what we imagine an 8-year-old would think and say.
Yes.
So yeah, go. We'll take turns.
Okay. Clean underwear is optional.
Yeah, that is definitely an 8-year-old thing. Yeah. And
so is hand washing.
Actually, any underwear is optional for my 8-year-old.
Yeah.
He tells me it's better to sleep without underwear.
Commando. All my kids know the term commando.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
That's what he does. Okay. This one is, don't tell your mom it wasn't you who pooped and didn't flush when you left your shoes and socks in front of the toilet. So make sure you move your shoes and socks if you plan on not flushing.
Right.
Because we know who did it every time.
You got to hide the evidence.
Yes.
I mean, it technically would be easier for you just to flush.
Yes.
When we know you're not going to do that.
Yep. That would be correct.
Yeah. Let's see. You are never too old to crawl into mom's bed.
Oh, absolutely. That's correct. Yeah. That's a sweet one.
It is sweet.
See, I did funny, nasty ones.
I've got a couple.
Okay. A funny or seven?
Yeah.
Okay.
I already did clean underwear. Isn't that funny?
Yes, I agree. It's kind of sad when they do outgrow that, and a lot of them do.
Right.
Like my almost 15-year-old, she has she would never, because the other night, my husband's out of town, and the other night I told them the first night he was gone, I said we can have a slumber party in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I asked her, and she just looked at me like I had 12 heads. I should have been speaking a foreign language. But I thought
I think it can go either way, because I have
my other kids would absolutely probably still do it.
I have I consider her to be my niece. She will still crawl in her mom's bed, and she's in college now,
right?
Which makes me really sad. But if you can hear that, that's me getting lotion out of my container. My hands are dry.
I need some moisturize. She's telling you. That's not really what it is.
But I think it can go either way. But she's always been one, and Maggie's the same way. Like, they just very quick to crawl in the bed, and yeah.
I like that, and I hope that that's how my other kids are, but not that. So.
Not that particular child.
No.
Well, you go to bed too early for her, so.
I do. I go to bed at 11. Heaven forbid.
Right. That's early.
That is for her. All right. If you want to make faces at your mom in the van, don't sit in the middle seat. She can see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Happens a lot.
You absolutely can feel your... Wait, I need to go back. Did you see the video last week? I don't know where I saw that. Of the... my God, that child's face when he realized... So there's this video... Off. Yeah, there's this video going around, and for whatever reason, this mama is in the front seat, and she's videotaping herself. I don't... FaceTime Live or whatever.
Question.
And he's in the back, and he happens to look up, and I don't know that he realized she was taping, and he immediately, and he's like our kid's age.
Yeah.
Like, which I'm not saying I would never see my kid do that, but it's not something I would see her
haven't yet.
Right.
Let's just
not
say.
Yet.
No.
So either they haven't done it yet, or we just haven't seen me do it.
Yes.
Which is more likely. Because they've seen me drive, so they know what that means. But this kid looks up, and he gives his mom the finger, and so of course she can see it. But like he sees that he's being recorded at exactly the same time, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass," and I'm like, "Yes!" And this kid's face is so funny.
His expression is funnier than her saying that.
And like the people in the comments are hilarious because they're like, you can see exactly the moment where he finds out that he's gonna die.
Yeah. I agree. That was so funny. So funny.
I loved it. Anyway, so you can absolutely fill your milk with the new container. Never mind the half full one in the fridge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know who does that at my house? Aubrey.
Yeah.
My teenager. I'm like, did you not see the one that's already open? Well, it was in the bag. I was like, it was in the back. So you literally like shoved the milk into the front? How did that even happen? Oh, yeah. She used to tell me it's gross. Like, I don't want to drink the one that's already open because it's gross. I'm like, what the hell?
That girl.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that girl. All right. Don't let your dog be in charge of watching your food while you go to the bathroom. Just trust me on that one.
We used to have a Cocker Spaniel. She was stealth about that. Like, you would blink and your pork chop would literally be missing off your plate. I'm like, what the hell? You're like a foot off the ground. How did you even manage that? She'd be over in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Don't leave it.
I can only imagine with Bo. It's not even that, like...
Oh, yeah. Well, he just stands right there next to you.
He can lay his head on the table.
You turn your head, it's gone. And you're like, Oh.
It's not his fault. He's a baby.
It is. It is.
I will defend that dog until
it is his fault. Well, good.
You lose your mind.
Good. He can come stay with you for a while.
I can't have dogs.
This isn't a dog. We're talking about a horse.
He's a
here,
horse.
People.
He's a dumb horse. I mean, like he has no IQ level whatsoever.
Yeah. No,
he's cute though. He's very pretty. He's very pretty.
He's a horse.
Everybody loves it when you talk with your mouth full.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That is the smacking.
Yes. And they want you to show. So you have to remember to show what's in your mouth at all times.
I love my daughter. She's sweet. She's smart. She's funny. She eats like a pig. I mean, like a pig. I mean, it's just, I'll be eating dinner and she's over there. And I'm just like, I'm going to kill you.
Have you seen the meme about that where it says, if I've heard you eat, I'm imagining killing you with my fork or something. Yeah, I know. My husband is an obnoxious eater as well. It is so irritating.
And we eat a lot of soup too, so you can only imagine. Oh, why do I keep feeding you?
No soup for you. What's that from? See if you can guess what that was from.
That's from Seinfeld.
Yeah, there you go. Some people wouldn't know what that was, but they're not uncool people. Uncool people.
There is nobody that hasn't seen Seinfeld.
Actually, my husband probably wouldn't know what that was from. So yeah, there's that. All right. Don't tell your sister. Let's play baseball in your room. Because ask the hole in the wall behind Landon's door.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he wondered why I wouldn't let him have the bat.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you thought it was okay for y'all to play baseball in your room. Oh, well.
Right.
So, yeah.
Why do your homework on Monday when you can do it on Thursday at 7:30 p.m.?
Absolutely. That's the rule at my house.
Yeah. Don't spread it out over the week.
No. Why?
My thing is every week we have a conversation and it's like, and the reality is she not all the homework. There's times where she struggles with it, but for the most part, she could easily get it all done on Monday.
Right.
And then you're free for the rest of the week, chick. You got to read a couple chapters. You do that anyway. Every week, the conversation. Well, I did what I need to do today. But why don't you get tomorrow in too, and then we don't have to worry about it? Like, I don't think you understand what the potential is if we don't have to sit here and do homework.
Right. No, I agree. It's the same way at my house. And in fact, I looked in Landon's folder today before I packed his backpack, and there's like 3 sheets in there. And I'm like, son of a bitch, he's got to do that tonight. And I'm like, no. It's infuriating. So it's bad enough that I'm not first grade homework is, Jackie writing is time consuming. I need for her to be more responsible about it, but and she is a responsible person. I don't know where she struggles with that, but she's like, she does the bare minimum every night. And she has finally started kicking in where she is doing everything on Mondays and Tuesdays. And so I'm like, you have that time free then. Yeah, right.
If you get it done, you're good.
But they're seeing that they have Monday through Wednesday free.
And it's really not it's not worth it. It's not that much time. You just get it done.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I was never that kid that waited till the last minute.
Right.
The second you told me I had an assignment, I went home and did it. Yeah.
And it'd be one thing is if it took you all 4 days because you had to struggle, I get it. It's hard.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I look at her math, I'm like,
oh, absolutely.
No.
Yeah. No,
I
know.
But for her, it's like that. She's lucky.
Yeah, the same way with Emma.
You should probably take advantage of that now because it probably won't always be that way.
Yeah,
but yeah, so not to get too deep on that, but why wait? Why do it on Monday when you can do it on Thursday at 7:30? Crying, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Because life's not fair.
Oh my God, that one drives me nuts.
I have to pee.
Can you hold it till we're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should switch chairs. Go ahead.
No, you might fall out of the armhole over here.
That's right.
Oh, don't put the lunch you didn't like under your car seat on a Friday. And don't ask me how I know that one.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
The boy that sits in the back in the middle of, he's the one who sits in the middle row.
And I knew exactly who did it too. Yeah.
And he's the one who makes faces at me and I can see directly behind me. He's the one who shoves shit underneath the seats.
Right.
And inevitably on a Monday when we get back in the car, Aubrey will look at me and say, "What is that smell?" And I'm like, I don't know. Ugh. There's nothing worse because then you climb back in the back and there's like, I don't know if this boy like secretly goes to the drive-thru when I'm not in the car and then camps out in the back in the third row and just has all this stuff. You'll find wrappers and food.
Oh, no, yeah. Our back seat's the same way.
It's disgusting.
Right.
It's bad. It's bad.
When I was their age, we were in, I don't remember, I think we went to Cleveland, but we went to basically like Little Italy, and so we went to this bakery that my dad loved. He traveled a lot, so he knew all these, like if you needed good food, you could ask my dad. He knew anywhere, any city, he could tell you where the good food was. So he had taken us to this bakery that he loved when he would go there for work, and he bought cannolis. Mm-hmm. I did not like it. I would never want to hurt my dad's feelings. So instead of saying, I don't like this, I tucked it in. So do you know what's like in a cannoli? It's like some sort of cheese.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like, it's...
And I love, like, all things that encompass this little dessert. Maybe I would like it now. I just haven't ever had one since then. But I just, at the time, I did not like this. So I just tucked it into this, like, little pocket in the van in the summertime. And so all summer, they're like, what is that? I mean, every time I got in a car, what does that smell?
Yeah.
That's horrible. And finally, I think they found it like a couple months later. ugh. And of course, in my 8-year-old mind, it didn't occur to me what that smell might be.
Yeah, right.
So.
Oh, and I can't tell you how many times, like when the kids were small, the sippy cup, the notorious sippy cup that had milk.
It was always milk.
You just had to throw it away.
You never lost them when they were water.
No. Or juice? No. It was always milk.
Right.
It was disgusting. Ugh.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
This is my last one. If you stand in the shower for 30 minutes singing Disney pop music at the top of your lungs, you don't even need to use soap.
Cancels it out. That's right. That's an immediate pass.
Right.
Yes. I think my kids must do that all the time then.
Yeah. To the point where sometimes, like, she'll be like, can I have music? I'm like, nope. Like, I mean, I love that you want music, but...
You will get distracted and forget to do what you went in there for.
Yeah. She'll come out with half her hair dry. But you were in there for 30 minutes.
Oh, I read something the other day and it said, how is it that my kids can take a 3-hour shower and still come out with dirty toenails and dirty feet?
Yes.
That's my boy especially, but that is Paige.
Yeah.
Paige had this ability to go in and come out dirtier than when she went in.
Right.
We called her Pigpen. She was dirty. Poor thing. Dirty Gertie. Mm.
That's such a cute name. She's so adorable.
Sometimes. All right. Don't slap mommy on the butt and sing the Jello song. She won't like it as much as when daddy does it.
Yeah.
It's not as cute.
No.
Actually, I have 2 more if you want to hear them.
Yes, I do.
Don't tell mommy her tummy's nice and squishy.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
No. That comes up quite a bit.
Nice and squishy don't go in the same sentence.
I love you, mommy. You're like a pillow.
Yeah, that does not work. No.
Yeah.
So that's definitely... And when mommy's asleep, the best way to wake her up is to go stand over her quietly.
Yes, yeah. I either wake up to them just standing over me, to which I think I'm being killed.
Oh, me too. I'm waiting for the clown with a knife.
I am slowly being suffocated by my children, but I mean, like, I think I'm actually going to be stabbed, you know. Or lately, it's been like you just wake up to like they're like they got their hand on you and they're just shaking you and you're like, what the, you know? I'm like, just can you walk me back to bed? I'm like,
you walked here.
Yes,
you walked here.
What?
Oh, man, yeah.
You literally, and you know my house, like you literally just walked the length of the house to ask me to put you back in bed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That scares me every single time.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the weirdest feelings. Like, you wonder what woke you up. Was it literally just the feeling of them staring at you? And then I think, dear God, how long have you been standing there? Because if a murderer had been standing there instead of you,
I'd be dead.
I'd be dead by now. Yeah. I mean, forget the fact that I have now reached the point in my life where I'm okay with laying with my back to the edge of the bed. if you know what I'm talking
Right.
about. Because for years when I was like younger, I would never sleep with my back to the bed because somebody would come out from under the bed and stab you in the back.
Yes, exactly.
And so now I'm totally old enough that it's okay. But now I have kids who creep up behind me and stare at me.
Just sit there and poke at you until you wake up because they're
my
thirsty and they drink
gosh.
of water and can't help themselves.
So yeah. So that's mine. That's mine.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good life advice
Yeah.
from an 8-year-old.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hygiene is not important.
No.
It's funny because you kind of see they're on the verge of caring, but not quite.
Right.
But they're super independent. So
It's a nice little age.
Yeah.
I think.
it helps that we have pretty great kids. We're not. We are raising little assholes, but in the extent of a-holism, they're not bad.
Yeah. No. I've seen much worse kids.
Yeah.
I think we're doing.
They're
okay.
well-behaved a-holes.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And very sweet.
And kind of funny. All of them. Really.
Funny. We need to let them
Even the teenager can be kind of funny. Like,
yeah, sometimes.
whether she means to or not, her stories and what she ends up getting herself into is
Oh
kind of
my
funny.
gosh. We should let the kids have their own hour. We just lock them in the room
Right.
and just record to see what they say. So, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Well, we were talking the other day when we were drinking coffee, eating breakfast, and watching everyone around us then eat their lunch because we stayed so long, about birth order and our kids.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I know you did a little research. I don't know if everyone's familiar with birth order, but what birth order is it's this whole theory on your personalities, and it even goes so far as to like what you're more apt to do for a living.
Right.
I saw statistics on how the rate of divorce, depending on your birth rate. I mean, like it, and these are all theories, but like
Right.
where all these aspects of your life stand versus where you were born with your siblings. So,
Right.
or there's also statistics for only children too. So,
Yes.
but it does not mean that you're set to be this way, but it does sometimes end up being true.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And I wrote down a few of the characteristics, and I'll tell you them, and
Okay.
then we can go through and
Yes,
see.
because I picked up a couple words too. So let's kind of see, like,
Okay.
doing our own research, how they kind of.
Okay. So I'll just tell you for firstborn, and you can interject with
Okay.
what you. Typically, characteristics for firstborn were reliable,
I had that one.
conscientious, structured, cautious,
Yep.
controlling, achiever. The firstborn basks in their parents' presence, and it may explain why they sometimes act like mini adults, is what the research says.
Natural leader,
Yeah.
ambitious, responsible.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And I don't know about you. Here's where it's odd for my family. That's Emma. That is my second born. And I know
We've
that's
talked
Maggie
about this
for
before.
you.
Yes.
I know that
yeah,
is definitely
this
your
Maggie
firstborn.
to a T.
But
Yeah.
that is Emma.
Right.
And you know what I discovered when I was reading about it? I fall into this weird category called gap children. If there's a gap of at least 5 years, which there was 6 years. If there's a gap of at least 5 years between one child and another family begins, then the birth order structure starts all over again. So in effect, I have 2 firstborns.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense because if I was going to put your teenager into a category,
It would not be
have been
firstborn.
that only child.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because when I started reading, I thought none of this is Aubrey.
Right.
None of it. God
No.
love her soul.
No.
It's not.
No, and I did read up on the only child, and I didn't write about it, but she very much falls under that category.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't write about it, but I did put her as the only child
Yeah.
because for 6 years she was the only child, and she has that little spoiled, self-centered mentality sometimes where, she finds it hard to share.
And
those
and
were
you said, like, that's not a
characteristics.
teenager thing. That's just always been part of her personality.
Yes. So I thought that was pretty. I had never heard of the term gap children.
Yes.
But I always wondered,
And it's funny because, like, when I was writing about the oldest, I did think of Emma. I'm like, this is Emma.
Absolutely.
That's not
It
your
is.
oldest.
Well, and
That's
it's
Emma.
because at our house,
Right.
it all started,
started
over
over.
again.
I will say the funniest thing, and before we get any further, because I wanted to bring this up, when I was writing this out, and we'll talk about the middle and the youngest, some of the youngest qualities, I felt like Landon fell under, like the charming, risk taker.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Let's see, middle child. Emma, I thought had some of these because what I found, it said often feels left out, and who am I to the family? And she does. She's really hit that stage lately. People pleasers, which she is. Somewhat rebellious. which she's not. Thrives on friendships, peacemaker, and has a large social circle.
And
she has a combination of both, I find.
And I had social butterfly, people pleaser. Well, okay, so did we finish with
child?
Did we finish with the oldest though? That we kind of felt like Emma and Maggie both kind of fell under that group.
Absolutely.
Maggie to the T, and I think Emma too. So,
yes, but but as Emma has some of these middle child characteristics.
And Maggie's not ever been too much of it. She'll get upset, and usually when she does, she rightfully so should be upset. Like when the boys have just taken so much energy and there's not enough over, she's like, that's not really fair, and it's not fair.
Yeah, Emma gets like that.
The middle child, but for the most part, she's this oldest kid to the T. These for my children were
dead on. Yeah.
Dead on.
Okay.
Dead on for my kids. The middle child, social butterfly, people pleaser, peacekeeper, fairness, obsessed, and good friend. Jack.
Yes. Yep. And see, that's Emma. So, like I said, again, Emma being the second born, even though there was that gap, she has that. She's got both of those.
Right.
She's got the firstborn and the middle child.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is definitely Jack.
Yeah, all of it. I mean, honestly, he loves everybody. Well, he prides himself. I'm a lover, not a hater. You know.
Yeah.
But he also he's fairness. I mean, that kid is constantly, it's not fair. Yes. I'm like, oh my God.
That's what Emma, and I tell Emma all, and Paige has even gotten to the point right now where she says, Emma, life's not fair.
Right.
Because I tell her, because Emma just, it's like that's their chorus.
Right.
Life's not fair. That's not fair. Like, life is not
fair.
And
I might catch him flack for this, but whenever he's like that, and even like Henry the other day said something about life not being fair, and I'm like, you know what, you guys are like whatever, 4 or 6 year old. I'm like, you're a 6-year-old white boy. You have no right to life's not fair. We're talking TV here, okay? This is not big deal.
Right. Well, I tell my kids all the time.
Right.
The sooner you learn it, the better your life's going to be. Life is not fair.
This is really nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no.
But he, he loves people. He likes. He does not like. He doesn't like fighting. Like when the yelling starts and everything, he shuts down. And I have to tell his teachers every year, he's positive reinforcement through and through. If you are, and I get it. Like sometimes things are negative, but anything negative and he is done. Mm-hmm. You won't get any further with my kid.
Right.
It's all positive, loving, butterflies, unicorns. Yeah.
He's so sweet. Every picture we had when we went to the zoo for the field trip, he's blowing kisses to the camera. Yeah. He's a lover, not a fighter. He'll tell you that.
He'll tell you that over and over again. He wrote. So I know you didn't do this assignment because you're. Did you do the assignment on the what city?
I don't do homework.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right.
I'm not really.
So
ready. What are you talking about?
She's not really. She literally got a note from the teacher reminding her.
I did. Do your homework.
Yeah. So Jackie did this assignment. It was like write about a city that you would like to go to.
I saw that.
We did it.
We did.
So he was.
Sorry to say, Bear.
He's like, I want to go to Washington D.C. with my mom alone.
Okay.
I'm like, nobody else? He's like, no, make sure that we write alone.
Leave them bitches at home. Peace.
He's like, it's you, me, and Washington, D.C. We're going to go see the Constitution, the White House, and get ice cream. That sounds like an amazing vacation.
Funny.
I might have to make that vacation happen.
Yeah? Washington, D.C. Ugh. Maybe Washington State.
You're so...
When I think of Washington, I always think of Washington, the state, because it's beautiful.
I know, we live there.
And since I'm not political, I just really don't know what else is there.
So
Isn't it just
history.
The White House, the Washington?
You know what?
Yeah, I know.
We're going to have to take a break because I'm going to have to Google some things for her. There's so much history there.
Okay.
And museums and art.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm still stuck on Twilight, so I want to go where it's pretty. And vampires sparkle. Twilight, baby.
I read the book, so I can't judge you on that. And secretly, like, the movies are horrible, but I'll watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we lived in Washington.
Team Edward.
We're going off subject, but we lived in Washington for about a year and a half, and it was, that corner of the country is just
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I would imagine.
There are no words to describe, like Montana into Washington, Oregon, California. There's nothing to describe it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I would go back there in a heartbeat. In fact, we've talked about this. We're working on going back there for a little vacay. So
you always watch
back to the West Coast.
Stop watching me. She watches me while I take notes.
Because I want to know what you're writing.
I take notes. We have to read the laundry list. I take notes so I can do our show notes.
So, let's get back on order.
Yeah. We're
youngest.
The youngest. Well, I have to say, though, about Landon.
Yes.
Because I have 4, so he's kind of like in that weird spot. He has that last born mentality, I find. Where you're kind of used to getting your own way, irresponsible, rule breaker, very charming and adventurous. That is Landon. So when we go to Paige, I can honestly say I'm not real sure what category she falls in.
I thought about your kids and I thought about my kids, and I also thought about myself. And I want to know where you think. Well, you already said where you thought you fell into this.
Yeah.
And when I was looking this up, with the youngest was free spirit, risk taker, charming, self-centered, manipulative. That's
Landon.
That is Henry.
Well, that's Landon too.
Yeah, he can be very much so. Like, especially the risk taker.
Yes, absolutely.
And charming.
Yes.
Like that kid.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
He better use that for good and not evil.
He will.
Yeah, he will.
He worked those little bat wings the other night, so he's good. Yeah.
So, but yeah. But I just none of these
fit Paige, so
she's
I'm
her
not
own
real
enigma.
sure.
Yeah.
She is. And I wonder, maybe she's... No, she's not the firstborn because...
She's none of those. I mean, she's a little bit of everything. She's like a little enigma. She's like an asterisk off by the self. Right?
I know. It's kind of weird. Like, she's definitely not the last.
Right.
She's not the baby where she got spoiled.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because, her personality and we had so many issues when she was smaller, but yeah, she didn't. So we definitely... That one I had a hard time with.
Yeah.
I am firstborn, and there's 12 years between my brother and the beginning of my 2 sisters.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No. Yep. It does.
I have 2 sisters by
marriage.
By my dad, and then a brother by my mother.
Yeah.
So I was definitely an only child. I'm very cautious, extremely cautious. Very structured. Like if I thrive on routine. Like if you take me off my routine, ask my husband, I freak out. I don't function well.
Right.
Weekends throw me off to no end because there's no structure.
No, I'm laughing because, I mean, I don't know how we managed to get this close as quickly as we did, but knowing you like I do, whenever something happens, I'm like, Heather's having a shit fit right now.
Probably.
No, there's no probably. You are. Like, every time, even like when something happens at the school, I'm like, I can feel your unease from 3 streets over.
Yeah,
so.
I don't do well. Like, don't change shit on me at the last minute. I don't do it. Like, don't show up at my door and be like, hey, let's go party or let's go eat right this second. I'll be like,
who's showing up at your door to party?
Nobody, thank God.
Oh, okay.
Nobody.
Okay.
And please don't. You people.
No, don't show up at my door because I'm not going to have a bra on.
Hey, that reminds me. We got to give a shout out to a couple people since we're talking about showing up at doors and not wearing
no
bras.
focus, yeah.
Melissa. What up, Melissa?
I'm not really sure about showing up the door with no bra on, and Melissa having
It's okay.
comment.
But hey, that made us think of you. And Priscilla. We
and
want to
Miss
give Priscilla.
Priscilla.
She's one of our #1 fans too.
So do you want to know where I think I fit in?
I do.
Because I'm the Landon of my family. Like, I mean, there are older kids and they're younger, and there's like no real true middle.
So independent, congenial, often forgotten. No.
I think it's a interesting combination of middle and youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you always got your way. Rule breaker, very charming, adventurous.
Well, my brother is very much the youngest child. Like, he fits that definition to a T. So there was a lot of energy into him. Mm-hmm. So, but I can be a little self-centered. I think. I don't know.
So you were the next to the last, or no?
Yes. Yeah, I was the next to the last.
All right.
But there are several kids above me, marriages and kids and everything.
Right.
And then there's me, and then there's my baby brother. My next up sister, she's very much the middle child. She's a peacekeeper, a good friend. She's that very, like... Yeah. But she misses out on the social butterfly and the people pleaser. She'd much rather stay home and read a book. So yeah. I don't know, like, our family necessarily... There are aspects of it where it was and it was right, but I think I feel a connection to all 3 of these roles.
Okay.
So, and I don't know. I mean, and technically, like there is that gap, and my brother and I are the only products of our parents' marriage. So I don't know. Maybe I am.
Maybe you are the firstborn.
But I have all those different, because I was the youngest girl,
right?
But I had a younger brother. I was the middle because of all of us, but then I was the oldest of our set.
Right.
So, and I look at all these words that describe birth order, and I can relate to all of them. So.
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I think it's funny because sometimes it does, like, you do fit into the mold, and then sometimes people don't.
Right.
So it's interesting. It's an interesting theory. There's also a theory. I had written it down. I scratched it out, but it says that we're different parents with each child based on their birth order, and I definitely agree with that. Yeah. And, sometimes I feel bad because I do, like with Emma, I depend on her because she's such a little mini adult and she's so responsible.
We depend on them way too much.
I just feel so bad.
Right.
And I can't help but think, dear God, I'm probably screwing her up, for life. But then on the other hand, I think she's going to be a great, responsible adult. Either that or she's going to go the complete opposite way
just go crazy.
And go batshit crazy.
Yeah. Balls to the wall
Let's hope she doesn't.
Right. And the thing is we've talked about this, like I'm guilty of the same thing with Maggie. I expect a lot from her.
Oh, yeah.
I rely on her a lot. And I think like acknowledging that and especially acknowledging it to them, like I know what a great little kid you are is important.
Okay.
What are you laughing at?
I don't... What are you doing?
I have to burp, and I didn't want to burp.
I'm sitting here watching you, like, bubble over and, like, literally, like...
Now you all know.
I can see you turn red.
I had a burp in my tummy, and I burp on.
I thought she was going to blow, people. It's like, stand back.
Look, I've already announced I have to pee, and now I said I had to burp, so we're good. But, but acknowledging the fact that, like, look, I know how great you are. I think... I'm grateful that I can rely on you and stuff. And like you took Emma to Austin with you. Yes. And I think that was really great. And I do the same thing with Maggie. I like to do things with her on the side that I don't necessarily do with the boys. And maybe I shouldn't do that. And I should do things with boys too. But I like to acknowledge that, hey, I get it. And
do you find that I depend on her a lot because she, even though I have a 15-year-old, almost 15-year-old, I depend on Emma because she's the most adult person in my house besides me.
You depend on her because you know, and I agree.
Yeah, I was wondering if you do that with Maggie.
Right.
Okay.
Like Maggie will sometimes, while I'm still doing dishes, she will corral the boys to get them to get ready for bed, which is exactly the role her daddy would take on if he was home.
Yes.
Because I don't do bedtime if I don't have to. I mean, I do bedtime. I tuck them in and everything, but she's the one that she's like, okay, guys, it's 7 o'clock. We need to go brush our teeth. And, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they brush their teeth before they go.
Do you know how much I've already paid for cavities? I need my kids to brush their teeth. I can't afford for them to have another cavity.
Oh, good Lord. I hate bedtime. I hate it.
I just hate 3 a.m. Bedtime's really not that bad in our house. 3 a.m. sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's birth order.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess that's it for this week.
That is. I'm going to be leaving here pretty quick to go to Florida.
Yep, she's gonna leave me. I think I might have serious FOMO. You don't know what FOMO is. It's
I'm gonna bring you back a present though.
So, okay, cool deal.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Jason Statham.
God, I'll see. I don't know. It is Florida, so there's a lot of meatheads there. I can probably get you something.
Yeah, no, it needs to be him.
I'll bring you back a present though.
Okay.
I do want to bring up really quick, and we do need to go. But sorry guys, we have a long show for you this week. But our numbers have started shooting up. Like. Not like crazy, huge, famous people numbers, but we've almost doubled in downloads.
That's awesome.
In the last, I would say 2 weeks, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's crazy. I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Without you guys,
right.
I mean...
Whoever's listening, because here's the thing, like, we can see numbers, and Heather will tell you, like, I get really obsessed with that. Every time we get close to another milestone... I'm like watching it repeatedly and sending her updates. I refresh my screen. I love it. But we don't see who it is listening to
We don't know where you're from. We don't know anything. I wish you guys would reach out.
It's actually kind of a cool program because I can see demographics.
Yes,
like
what country.
See, right? Yeah, we've had a couple different countries.
Yes.
But just thank you, whoever you are that's listening. Like, that's amazing.
It is amazing,
and we're super grateful for that.
Yeah,
so.
who would have figured us sitting here that people around the world would actually want to hear what we had to say?
I know, right?
Give us try to get in touch with us. Find us
Right.
on Facebook. We love to hear from people.
Yes,
We especially it helps. It helps when you do this to know that people actually are listening to you.
and it's not just talking.
It's not just us.
Into our pretty little orange microphone.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. Well, I hope you guys have a really great week.
And you have fun in Orlando.
I will. Yeah, I'm not sure if we have another show before then or not. It doesn't really, none of it really matters, but.
So have fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.